For today's episode, we are going to be doing some trash to treasures for my outdoor patio. We're going to make some gorgeous outdoor DIYs, so let's get started. Over the next couple of weeks, we are going to be really focusing on my back patio. It's such a beautiful place, and it is being totally underutilized for its original purpose. It is being fully utilized as a workshop. I just want to reclaim it, and I've got another plan of how to go about things. For our first project, this is going to be an easy build, so even if you're a beginner, you can totally do this. We might use a miter saw and some power tools, but I'm going to kind of walk you through that process. From my fireplace build, I have a whole bunch of these 2x3s that I've had forever. We are going to turn them into some kind of tall planters that we are going to use in our patio makeover, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. And I thought that this would be a good way to make a serious dent on my scrap pile. We're gonna go over to the saw and we're gonna cut these down. So let me show you how to use the saw. It's easier than you might think. So we are going to start cutting some wood, a lot of wood. So I'm going to show you how this works. There's usually a button here, mine's yellow, and you pull that with your thumb, and then you wrap your hand around this and pull it with your hand, and when you squeeze the two together at the same time, it turns it on. That's as easy as it is. I'm going to plug this in, and we're going to put on our safety glasses. Looking good. Those are dirty. All right, put on our safety glasses and we are ready to start cutting. I'm gonna wear gloves because these have a lot of slivers on these ones. Okay, and then we can use this as a pattern. I'll put a P on it for pattern. We've used up pretty much all of our 2x3s and 2x4s to build one planter. I was hoping to get a little good start on a second one, but it really took up the wood. We are going to just be attaching these with screws, and we are going to just pre-drill some holes, and we're going to just put one screw in each area, building a whole bunch of boxes, and then we're going to hook them all together, and you'll see how in just a second. So let's get drilling. These ones are the longer ones. This is a shorter one. We're going to shoot the screws in this way. Okay, so we've got some pilot holes. Any warped edges I'm going to try to put on the inside. Make sure it's lined up on all sides. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty sturdy, and we'll just build a whole bunch of them and then we're gonna stack them together. I'd originally planned on taking it up a bit taller, but I'm really happy with this height. And of course I want two of them, so I decided to hang on to the extra pieces and use them for my other planter, and I'll probably still have to get some extra lumber for that. Isn't this fern so pretty? I think it's gonna be gorgeous when it's all said and done. So I've just kind of set this in here so you can kind of see what it looks like, but let's lift this out because I've got to show you what we're gonna do next. So all of these boxes are kind of separate, but we need to attach them. So what we're gonna do is we are just gonna cut down some 1x2 for the front long sides, and then this 1x3. See if I can do this without dropping it, to kind of hide all of that. And then we'll use a little wood glue and finish nails and nail them all into place, and that should kind of hold them together. And we've got some kind of ominous weather looking. I hear some thunder. I haven't seen any lightning, but I'm kind of hoping it holds off so that I can keep building. We're kind of working around some weather this week. I just take my 1x2s and my 1x3s and hold it up to where we're placing them and kind of make a mark where we need to make cuts. Then after I make the cuts, I just take some wood glue and a nail gun and nail them into place. Now, if you don't have a nail gun, you could definitely do this part by hand. The first couple you nail into place may want to move around, so you want to give it a little support as you go. So, looking pretty good, right? I love that. If you wanted to do kind of a natural look, I would go ahead and get some natural colored wood putty, fill in the holes, and kind of give the whole thing a good sanding. And then you're gonna wanna find something to seal it with. It's actually a really pretty look. I'm gonna go ahead and paint mine black. But first, before we paint them, we need to build a second one. Well, this one is really nice, and we built it with screws, which is, you know, if a drill is something that a lot of people have on hand. It took a while, so I am breaking out my big framing nailer, and we are gonna bust the second one out in no time. I like this gun. This nail gun is the coolest. So we'll fill in the holes, let it dry, and then probably tomorrow, we're gonna be painting a bunch of stuff tomorrow. Because of the rain delays and all that, I am gonna delay one of my bigger projects for probably the extreme makeover. So you'll have to stay tuned for that, but I've got another really fun one coming up. Now it's time for the big guns. Oh yeah. Protective eyewear for this is a must. Woo! See? Look how fast that is. One down, several more to go. But that was way faster. Now we're going to fill in the holes with some wood putty and seal the crack with some caulking that I had on hand. And since we're painting it, I felt like I didn't really need to match up the color because it didn't really matter. This is what I've been dealing with this week. Just lots of rain delays. After it's dry, I sand it down, and I use the same paint I used on my front door in my recent front porch makeover episode. I believe the color is called Caviar. I do one good coat, and then I go back in and touch it up a little bit with a light second coat. You'll notice at the tops that I did add a couple of cleats, and that's because my pot didn't end up fitting in there as well as I had hoped. So just keep that in mind when you are making yours. But I just love how my scrap wood planters came out. You could totally make these with 1x3s and 1x4s if you want something that doesn't weigh quite as much as these ones, because these are definitely sturdy. But I love the way these look. But what I'm loving even more is the progress we are starting to make on the patio. I used up a lot of the scrap wood, and I'm getting very excited for this makeover. In planning for my patio makeover that's coming soon, I was shopping for lounge chairs and found out they are very expensive, very expensive. These ones are looking super shabby. My plan was to send them to the trash, but after doing that shopping, we're gonna at least make an attempt to save them. So my plan is to spray everything in a flat black in this Fusion Krylon. It's supposed to spray onto plastic. It's supposed to help with rust protection and all of that. I'm not sure how this material will spray, so we'll see how that turns out. If it buys me a little extra time, then I'm glad. And hopefully it will last for a while. I think I can save 2 of them. The last one, it's got some severe damage and it's kind of ripped out. There is a way to repair that, but I don't know that I want to go to that effort, especially since I'm not even sure if this is going to hold up. And it's okay, so we'll just deal with 2 of them, and one of them might end up finding a new home. So we're gonna just take these out onto my grass, lay something down, spray paint them really good front and back. And then I've also got some finishing touches to make it look a little bit cuter. I was pleasantly surprised by how well the spray painting job did. I'm currently keeping them underneath my lanai to give them a little bit more time to cure before fully exposing them to the rain season. I just got these cushions off of Amazon as well as the pillows, and this is going to give you kind of a little sneak peek of the direction the patio makeover is headed. But this is such a huge transformation on these lounge chairs, and they look even better than I had hoped. I just love it when that happens. Here's just a little reminder of what the old ones looked like in comparison to how they look now. Just amazing. For my last project, I've kind of swapped some things out because I had another one planned with my scrap wood, but because of weather delays and all of that, it's gonna have to wait probably for the makeover, so you'll wanna stay tuned for that, and I'm determined to get it done, so cross your fingers for me. So I've had these little jar things hanging out in my Monica closet. If you watch my channel, you'll know what that is. And so I decided it was time to give them a little bit of love. I've wanted to do something with them for a while now, and they've just kind of been hanging out there. The glass on it looks kind of cloudy and kind of not awesome, so I'm gonna try to clean that up. Maybe start with some vinegar and try to get that glass really clean first. And then we're gonna cover up this glass and tape everything off, and we are gonna spray all of the metal because the metal's not in fantastic condition, and I don't think it's real silver, so I'm okay with spray painting it in this same matte black spray paint that we've been using. And then we're gonna turn these jars to hold some candles outdoors for some ambiance. And I picked up these brackets at Lowe's for, I think they were like $9 or something like that. But I thought we could hang our jars off of this on my pillars right here. There are two ways you can hang these brackets to stucco. The first is special anchors or Tapcon screws. To cover up the ugly screw color, you can just take the same spray paint that we've been using, spray it on a brush, and brush that right onto the screw, and everything should match up. This was such a fast upgrade, and I love how they turned out. These were just a few DIYs, and you kind of get a feel for what we've got planned for my patio makeover coming over the next couple of weeks. And if you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And if you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button right there. It's super easy to do. And I would love it if you joined the DIY Niner family. And to all of my DIY Niners, I just want to remind you that you are more powerful than you know. We'll see you next time. Bye.